The Remix Chapter 2 finale event is less than a week away, and we know that we're going to be getting a giant concert. The concert's going to be featuring all the artists that we got in Remix Chapter 2, but this got me thinking, what's the best live concert in the history of Fortnite? Now, when I say live concert, I'm not talking about anything from Party Royale, and I'm definitely not talking about the Prelude event, because that thing was
the biggest piece of dog shit.
Instead, more of what I'm talking about is when the artists turn into giants and give us an absolute performance. Now, there are 6 different concerts to choose from, and I'm going to be ranking it on how good it was and not how good the music is. Everybody has a different taste in music, and I'm sure mine doesn't align perfectly with everyone else's. And before we start, make sure you guys like and subscribe just so that you don't miss another upload. But without further ado, let's hop right into this. So, in 6th and final place, I have the Kid Laroi concert from Chapter 4. Now, you could have played this concert from January 27th, 2023 all the way to April 27th of that same year. One of the things that people hated the most about this concert was that it wasn't exclusive at all. It was a creative map. So unlike past concerts where you were only able to watch it for 1 to 2 times, this time around you could have seen it as many times as you wanted. And something like this just took away all the hype around the concert. Now, it started off with a big supply drop dropping from the sky, and once you landed it boosted you up. Now, inside the supply drop you could see the Kid Laroi dancing, but the supply drop just kind of sat there for about 30 seconds before the color started to change. Now, the entire time there's music playing, but nothing's really happening. Eventually supply drops started falling from the sky, and once you opened them they'd turn into things like speakers. But for whatever reason, when you opened up some of them, they would turn into this weird cube thing, and I'm not 100% sure what they were trying to do here. And finally, the floor turns into water and we're actually able to get into the concert. We get to this house where he's the door, and for whatever reason, he looks like one of the kids from the movie Spy Kids. Now, I'm not really sure if this is what he was going for, but if it was, he absolutely nailed it. After we enter the house, we're just given a sledgehammer for some reason, and we're just told to start smashing. The entire time we're smashing through the house, music is playing, and the music isn't too bad, but once again, that's not what we're basing these on. Eventually, a massive door opens up, and he's sitting there on the big screen like he's straight out of an Apple commercial. Like what? They give me a sledgehammer and a big screen and expect me not to throw it at the screen? Anyways, he then teleports us down below to like this weird ass like llama breeding room or something like that. I don't really know. When we hit the floating music note, it ends up boosting us all the way to the city where we could find a giant monster waiting for us. And we don't fight it yet, we're just told to run as fast as we can in the opposite direction. And once again, there's music playing the entire time, so it's not like it's completely boring. But where's the giant Kid Laroi at? At a certain point, there's nowhere else to go, so we have to drop down into the sewer, and the entire time we're just collecting these floating music notes. Now we're just running all over the city as if we're out of a Spider-Man game, until eventually we find this elevator on the top floor. We find ourselves in a room where it looks like the Kid Laroi is being cloned, and we have to do all these pattern things to get out of it. And once you finally finish that, they just transport you to what looks like Fortnite only up. At this point, as you make your way up the ramp, you're just kind of thinking like, where's the actual concert at? But then you finally make it to the top, and they transport you through time and space for whatever reason. And now is finally where you get to the concert, right? Nope, you're in a Coliseum and the monster's back. Don't ask me how we got here because I thought we outran him. But when you finally defeat him with the gloves, you're teleported to a screen and the Kid Laroi is there, and the concert is finally able to start. Now, the concert itself wasn't bad. It was honestly pretty typical. We got a few unreleased songs from him, but at the end of the day, I think Fortnite missed the whole concert concept. So was it terrible? No. Could it have been better? Yes, but that's gonna bring us to our next concert. In 5th place, we have the Metallica concert from Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 3. Now, the biggest complaints that I was seeing about this concert was that it was just way too short. And that's kind of odd to me because it's 8 minutes, so I'm pretty sure that's kind of typical for a Fortnite concert, but whatever. The concert also came out in Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 3, which is one of the most hated seasons in the history of Fortnite. It started off in rocket racing, which I'm pretty sure only 5 people have ever played. And once again, the music's playing the entire time. But the thing is, a lot of kids play Fortnite, and it just kind of missed the target audience. But that part doesn't really matter, because I'm still just really trying not to base it on the music. Once the rocket racing part's finished, they waste no time putting us into the actual concert. So instead of doing creative challenges the entire time like we were in the Kid Laroi concert, this time we're actually able to see the concert firsthand. And then out of nowhere, a clock tower spawns and we're right back to playing only up. I don't know why Fortnite just has this kink of watching us climb things, but it's kinda weird, so if we could stop doing that, that would be great. Anyways, we make it to the top and we find ourselves gliding before we're told to grind the lightning. Eventually, we stop grinding the lightning and a big monster appears out of nowhere. We're told to destroy the master while the song Master of Puppets starts playing. Now, you can't lie, regardless of whether or not you like Metallica, this part was actually super hype. I mean, the beginning of the song paired with the monster coming out is just absolutely crazy. Now, I'm really trying my best not to get copyright strikes, so I'm not going to play any of the music, but all the videos from are linked down below. After we've been shooting the monster for a couple of minutes, the hand drags him down and he gets completely defeated. The silhouette of the band appears in the sky before we get taken to a black screen. We're only on the black screen for a couple of seconds before the concert fully resumes and we can see the band playing firsthand once more. The concert ends off in crazy fashion, and in my opinion, it was honestly a really good concert. But once again, the timing of the concert just wasn't great because Chapter 5 Season 3 is ranked as one of the worst seasons in the history of Fortnite. Along with this, the hype just wasn't really there because when your primary player base is a bunch of teens and 20-year-olds, not a lot of them are fans of Metallica. But that's going to bring us into our next concert, which is going to be the 4th place finish, and that's going to be Eminem's concert from the Big Bang event. Now, if you could give me an Eminem concert that isn't just one big advertisement for a Fortnite mode, then it's probably making my top 3. But here we are in the end event for a Fortnite chapter, and Eminem's our main focus. So, after being shot out of the rocket racing mode, we're sucked into another wormhole. We're kind of just looking around clueless, like we don't know what's gonna happen, and then Eminem pops out of the ground. Now this was honestly really hype, and I'd probably be really hyped too if I was like a 40-year-old mom. And I mean no disrespect to Eminem, but a lot of the people who were playing this event weren't even born when Eminem's best songs came out. But anyways, he starts rapping, and even I bought into the propaganda. Like, I bought this skin. And then out of nowhere, a guitar pops up, and we're just like, oh shit, it's one big ad. Like, they just brought Guitar Hero to Fortnite and promoted it with Eminem. But then the ground starts to shake and the concert actually starts to take form. The hand of Marshall Nevermore pops out and it takes the concert to a whole nother level. He pops out and he starts singing his song Godzilla, which by the way has a Juice WRLD feature on it. In hindsight, that probably should have been our first clue that Juice WRLD was gonna make his way to the game sometime. But regardless, he turns into a giant, and you kinda can't have a good Fortnite concert unless they turn into a giant. And in true Godzilla fashion, he just starts destroying the city. The sky opens up and it just kinda looks like total destruction's going on. The visuals kind of make this concert because it's kind of short-lived. It's only about 2 songs, but the fact that he's up close and rapping to the song all while there's like a hurricane going on in the background is absolutely crazy. But when the concert ends, he just kind of swipes us away like we're on Tinder. This ends up being the thing that ends off the Big Bang event. Now, if that wasn't the case, this concert would probably been ranked a lot lower, but we just came out of Fortnite OG, so the hype was still really high. And don't get me wrong, the concert itself was good, but it just wasn't top 3 potential. But that's gonna bring us to our 3rd place finish, which is going to be the Marshmello concert from all the way back in Chapter 1. Now, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this one, but the only reason that it isn't higher up on this list is because it was the first Fortnite concert. Yeah, the concert was good, and it set the standard, but they only got better from here. But a move like this was revolutionary to the gaming industry. No other game had done what Fortnite was trying to do here. Like, they just took a world famous artist and gave him a concert in a video game. Like, that just blows my mind. Now, this concert wasn't as eventful because most of it was just visual. Like, the entire time that we were there, we could watch the concert. We didn't have to do any of that stupid only up shit that they had us do in other concerts. Along with this, the concert itself took place in the peak of Fortnite. You could tell that Epic Games put a lot of effort into this. There was no guns, so nobody could shoot each other, and the lights were just crazy. Everyone who was there was just jumping around and having a great time. And that shit was like 10 minutes long, so we definitely got our money's worth. At one point, a giant Marshmello does appear, and you know, you can't have a Fortnite concert without a giant artist. And this actually takes us up into the sky, and we start skydiving, while the concert's still going on. Now, there's not really too much to say about this concert, because once again, it wasn't too eventful. The entire time you're just sitting there watching the concert. And I don't know if it's because I was like 12 at the time that this concert came out, but I had a great time. Like, it was just so simple, yet so good. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but if you were there, then you'd know. It paved the path for future concerts in Fortnite's history, and that's gonna take us to our 2nd place finish. So, in 2nd place, we have the Rift Tour from Ariana Grande. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like her music at all. But once again, I'm not ranking on a music, and this concert was actually really good. We start off on a spaceship because it's Chapter 2 Season 7, so there's spaceships everywhere. And then out of nowhere, this like rift door thing opens up, but then we just kind of get sucked into this shit. Don't ask me how it works, because I just don't know. The screen goes white for a couple of seconds before we start floating through this like purple spiderweb thing. There's honestly just a lot that happens in this concert that I just can't explain to you guys. Eventually, we just start floating toward a giant version of ourselves before we're teleported to a giant slip and slide. When we get spawned on that giant slip and slide, the song Come and Go by Juice WRLD starts playing. So just to recap, there have been 2 concerts with Juice WRLD in it already, and we're just now getting a Juice WRLD concert. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. The sliding itself was really cool, and we got these crazy inflatable guys who are just dancing.
I like my cheese drippy, bruh.
But once we're done sliding, we get transported to what looks to be the set of the movie The Lorax. I don't know again. But once we land on the ground, we realize that we bounce, and we're doing these flips and these cartwheels and shit. The whole bouncing part was kind of weird, but I had fun, so out of the sky, a giant cuddle team leader appears, and a plane starts coming our way, and we get in it. The plane then takes us into battle with a bunch of zombies, which just goes to show that Fortnite's going back to its zombie roots. We just kind of sit there doing flyby shootings against the monster for a bit until eventually we kill him, and if we've learned anything from this video, it's that after you kill the monster, you get to the actual concert. And if you could believe it, that's true for this concert too, because we get teleported to a place where we're knocked and we get picked up by our teammates. Once everybody gets picked up, the aura or some shit just starts leaving our body. It goes up into the sky where we can see a giant shooting star falling. Once that star lands on a planet, Ariana Grande appears and the concert officially starts. I guess her hand just kind of collected that aura because she shoots out a ball and it just kind of ropes you in like a lasso. At this point she's singing, and once again, I don't really like her music at all, but the visuals were pretty cool. But then there's like a beat drop or like a key change or some shit, and now it's a sunset and there's a bunch of bubbles everywhere. Once again, it's really cool, but I have zero clue what's going on. Anyways, everybody's dancing on bubbles until a giant bubble lifts Ariana off the ground, and then eventually we become encapsulated in bubbles. She then bursts out of the bubble, and for whatever reason now she has wings, and we just start following her. We continue to follow her for a bit until we go way too high up in the sky, and then all of our bubbles burst. Once that happens, we start falling out of the sky until these unicorns come and pick us up. We continue to follow her, who now looks to be on a swing, and eventually there's like bunny clouds that appear. I must have been like tripping balls, cause like, what's going on? We ride the unicorns into a rift, and they take us to what looked to be like the stairs at Hogwarts. We're now following her up the stairs in what might be the most complex game of Only Up I've ever seen. Once she makes it to the top, she uses her hammer to bash a hole into the sky. The hole takes us back into outer space, where she continues to sing. She's now sitting on crystals, and we continue to bounce around, and when the song finally ends, she becomes like the Rift Queen. Overall, the concert was actually very good, and even though I don't like her music, the visuals just made it. The effort that Epic Games put into this event was actually kind of unmatched. This event was actually better than half of the chapter finales we've had. And even though I didn't know what was going on, I thought the concert was very cool, but there could only be one number one. And you guys have guessed it, the best concert in the history of Fortnite is Travis Scott's astronomical concert from Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 2. Now when you say best event in the history of Fortnite, not just concert, this makes my top 5. Here we are sitting on sweaty sands when all of a sudden Astroworld starts floating towards us. A purple shooting star comes from around the back, and when it lands, Travis Scott appears. And he quite literally blows us away. Now he starts off by singing Sicko Mode, which by the way, it's a great song. But once again, I'm not ranking based on the music. But let me just say, this is one of the most hype moments in the history of Fortnite. Now, he continues to play his music and we get teleported up into this big funnel looking thing. We fall all the way down, and once we hit the ground, we start bouncing. And at this moment, Travis is like a literal giant. He's towering over the map. Just like the Ariana Grande concert, he starts collecting like these stars or aura or something. But when he claps his hands, the map completely transforms. Asteroids begin to fall from the sky, and Travis is now half cyborg. The thing that makes this concert so good is the sheer effort that Epic Games put into it. Astroworld is floating in the background the entire time, and the graphics are going crazy. But when the song ends, the map lightens up again and Travis pops off with goosebumps. And then the beat drops and everything goes dark again, and the roller coasters that were once in the background are now these rainbow wires. We're floating around and just look at it in all its glory. If you missed this concert, I truly feel bad for you. It took place with one of the best artists in the world in the best season of Fortnite ever. Okay, but enough glazing. He then falls backwards and we follow him into the water. And this is of course where we see Astrojack make his first appearance of the concert. And then out of nowhere, a jellyfish leaves his body and we get taken to a whole nother planet. Not really, we're still on sweaty sands, but you could barely tell. But then everything gets flipped around and we find ourselves floating in the sky. And a scenic change of view then has us floating over the Earth. We are now in outer space. We continue to float over the Earth until we run into Astrojack again, but this time he's sitting on a planet. And outer space is actually where the concert ends. Astroworld just gets blown up and we start gliding into oblivion. This concert had more detail than any Fortnite event ever. Even if you didn't like Travis Scott, you liked this concert. And And just like that, that's every single concert in the history of Fortnite ranked, from worst to best. If you guys like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I put a lot of effort into this one, and it's definitely a lot longer than what I normally do. Oh, and don't forget, the Juice WRLD concert's only a few days away, and even though it might not beat Travis Scott's concert, it's gonna be great. Once again, it cannot be worse than the Prelude event. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.